The Renaissance, which spanned roughly from the 14th to the 17th century, was a transformative period in European history that marked a shift from the medieval world to the early modern age. Rooted primarily in Italy, the Renaissance spread across Europe, profoundly influencing art, culture, science, politics, and human thought. The word Renaissance itself means rebirth, signifying a revival of interest in the classical knowledge and values of ancient Greece and Rome. The Renaissance arose in a period of relative peace after the turmoil of the Middle Ages, a time marked by feudalism, plague, and warfare. Several factors contributed to this cultural rebirth. The rediscovery of classical texts preserved by Islamic scholars, the rise of a wealthy merchant class, and the establishment of independent city-states, especially in Italy, all laid the groundwork for a flourishing cultural movement. Florence is often considered the birthplace of the Renaissance. Wealthy families like the Medicis patronized artists, architects, and scholars, supporting the creation of works that would become iconic representations of this era. Additionally, the fall of Constantinople in 1453 brought Greek scholars to Italy, enriching the intellectual climate with ancient texts and knowledge that had been lost to Western Europe for centuries. At the heart of the Renaissance was humanism, a philosophical and intellectual movement that emphasized the potential for human achievement and the study of classical antiquity. Humanism shifted the focus from a medieval worldview dominated by religious doctrines to one that embraced the capacities of individuals, encouraging education, the exploration of nature, and a balance between faith and reason. Thinkers such as Petrarch, often considered the father of humanism, sought to reconcile classical ideals with Christian beliefs, viewing humanity as a noble creation with the potential for greatness. Humanists promoted the study of the humanities, literature, history, philosophy, and rhetoric, shaping education in a way that emphasized critical thinking and individual expression. This cultural shift influenced everything from politics to art, and its impact is seen in the works of Renaissance scholars, artists, and writers. Art during the Renaissance underwent a radical transformation. Departing from the flat, two-dimensional forms of medieval art, Renaissance artists employed techniques like perspective, chiaroscuro, the contrast between light and dark, and anatomical accuracy to create more realistic and emotionally expressive works. They sought to capture the beauty of the natural world and the complexity of human emotions, creating art that celebrated both the divine and the mundane aspects of life. Some of the greatest artists of all time emerged during this period. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452 to 1519, epitomized the Renaissance man. He was not only a painter but also an inventor, scientist, and architect. His famous works, like The Last Supper and Mona Lisa, demonstrate his mastery of human anatomy, light, and expression. Michelangelo, 1475 to 1564, is best known for his sculptures, such as David and Pieta, as well as his work on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, which stands as one of the most iconic artistic achievements of the Renaissance. Raphael, 1483 to 1520, a contemporary of Leonardo and Michelangelo, was celebrated for his frescoes and his depictions of the Madonna. His work in the Vatican, particularly the School of Athens, represents the fusion of classical philosophy with Renaissance humanism. Artistic achievements were not limited to Italy. In Northern Europe, artists like Albrecht Dürer and Jan van Eyck developed their own styles, emphasizing meticulous detail and complex symbolism, particularly in portraiture and religious works. The Renaissance also ushered in significant advancements in science and technology, often referred to as the scientific Renaissance. Figures like Nicholas Copernicus, Galileo Galilei, and Johannes Kepler challenged the prevailing geocentric worldview that placed Earth at the center of the universe. Their work laid the foundations for modern astronomy, with Copernicus proposing a heliocentric model and Galileo using the telescope to observe celestial bodies in unprecedented detail. This period also saw advances in anatomy and medicine, as exemplified by Andreas Vesalius' detailed studies of the human body. His work De Humani Corporis Fabrica revolutionized the understanding of human anatomy. Meanwhile, Leonardo da Vinci, with his extensive anatomical drawings, contributed to both art and science, demonstrating the interdisciplinary nature of Renaissance inquiry. The Renaissance was also a time of great literary output. Writers such as Dante Alighieri, Geoffrey Chaucer, and Francesco Petrarch laid the groundwork for the literary Renaissance. In the later stages of the Renaissance, William Shakespeare emerged as one of the most influential playwrights and poets, whose works explored human nature in all its complexity, blending elements of classical tragedy and comedy with innovative storytelling. Niccolò Machiavelli, in his seminal work The Prince, departed from the idealism of earlier political thought, offering a pragmatic, sometimes ruthless, guide to political leadership. His ideas, often summarized as "the ends justify the means," reflect the changing political landscape of Renaissance Europe, where power and statecraft became paramount. The Renaissance set the stage for the modern world. Its spirit of inquiry and emphasis on individual potential contributed to the later Enlightenment, and its artistic and scientific innovations resonate to this day. Through the rediscovery of classical knowledge, the humanist belief in education, and groundbreaking achievements in art and science, the Renaissance reshaped European thought and culture, leaving an indelible mark on history.